been trying to burn down housing projects in Oakland. And we are calling on everyone to be vigilant, to look out for this needed construction of housing and ensure that it is built safely and that what could have been a tragic loss of life does not happen anymore. We call on everyone who lives around construction sites to monitor those sites, to call 911 if you see suspicious activity. And if you know anything about an arson in the city of Oakland, we urge you, if you are uncomfortable with coming forward with your identity, you may call our anonymous tip line at 238-4031. Again, anonymous tip line for information leading to the arrest of arsonists, 238-4031. And I will just end by saying this. An attack on new housing in Oakland is an attack on keeping families housed in Oakland. We are in a housing crisis. We need to build housing as quickly and effectively as possible. But the bigger offense is the absolute risk of loss of life for this type of tragedy. With that, I'm very pleased to introduce our fire chief, Chief Darren White.
Good morning. Good morning. At 1:59 a.m. this morning, we received a call regarding a rapidly developing fire here at the 24th and Fieldberg and West Grand area. Our units arrived very quickly, immediately established command, and determined that they needed additional resources. This fire quickly escalated from a second to a third, fourth, and then eventually a fifth alarm response. That consisted really of about 90 personnel total on scene, 15 engines and 4 truck companies and a bunch of command staff here trying to ensure that this incident didn't escalate and get further out of control than it was. We had a substantial number of embers actually blowing eastward from the involved portion of the facility or the building here, moving towards Market, Myrtle, and beyond. Stemming from those embers, we had a couple of other fires that actually ignited later on in the morning after we had gotten a pretty good handle on what was going on with this incident. Those two situations flared up over on Isabella. In addition, we had a report of an attempted arson at 3266 Peralta. And so with that, we're on heightened alert and awareness, trying to ensure that we do our due diligence to understand what happened here and whether or not the two incidents are related. We have fire investigative staff here on scene. We've upstaffed our fire investigative personnel. We also have assistance from the ATF standing by just to kind of, as soon as we get out of an active incident, an opportunity to see more and learn more about what may have been the cause and origin of this incident. That being said, right now, I want to give a great appreciation to City Ventures. I want to give great appreciation to the Alameda County Sheriff's Office, East Bay Bud, Pacific Gas and Electric, as well as American Red Cross. Everyone converged on the scene relatively quickly and started providing the support and resources needed for us to actually move forward and assist those individuals that were displaced. I believe at this time we've confirmed that we roughly had somewhere in the 6 to 8 persons displaced from off of Market Street because of those flying embers I spoke of earlier. That being said, it appears that the numbers that we originally quoted were a little bit higher than we originally thought they were, but the great thing is no one's been injured with the exception of one of our members who sustained a leg injury. At this point, I haven't confirmed whether or not it's a major or a minor injury, but I understand he may have stepped in a pothole and maybe wrenched his ankle or injured himself somehow in doing that. But we're very fortunate. There was also a substantial amount of flame that impinged on some of the transformers on Filbert Street. That lit up the sky and obviously got everyone's attention, because anytime you're dealing with an electrical hazard, that's a definite risk to our personnel. So we immediately set up a perimeter and started to continue our defensive operation, which we started with a defensive posture, but we made sure we accounted for our personnel and pulled back and addressed that until PG&E was able to secure power to the entire region here. And with that, PG&E, I believe, initially secured power to the tune of maybe 2,000 persons being affected by that. Slowly but surely, they've been actually restoring power as they've been able to, so that the power outage has been minimized. And and the impact has been minimized as quickly as possible for those folks who were displaced or without power. That being said, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Kerr, who's from City Ventures, and he'll speak with you next.
My name is Phil Kerr. I'm the CEO of City Ventures Home Building. I first wanted to say a huge thank you to the Oakland Fire Department, the Oakland Police Department, Alameda County Sheriff's Department, as well as to all the responders, the first responders that came out to help fight this fire. We've been very fortunate that there was no one injured in this very large fire, and that was in part due to the response by all those involved. We also appreciate the Red Cross being out, as well as Pacific Gas and Electric, and all the folks from the City of Oakland. It's been a great partnership with the City of Oakland to build housing here, and we are committed to that partnership. We had security cameras on site, we had a security guard on site, and still this fire was started. And caused this level of destruction. We're committed to working with the City of Oakland to rebuild it. We'll be working very closely with all the departments in Oakland to continue the development and the building of this project. This project is not about the buildings, it's about people. And this is a project that has 124 homes in it, with 50 of those homes sold, and about 40 folks that were planning on moving in around the holidays of this year. All of their lives have been affected. And we'll be working very closely with each of those homeowners. And we'll also be working to continue the construction on the backside of the project so we can continue to build homes at prices that are below some of the rents that we see in Oakland right now, to give people an opportunity to become part of the fabric, to become owners in Oakland, and to live here in this wonderful community. So we thank the departments and the city staff as well. We look forward to working together as we move on. Thank you.
Go ahead and open it up for questions. I know there's a lot of new media and some new faces, and we welcome you. If you can just identify yourself and your media partner that you're with, and that would be very helpful. Lee, let's go ahead and start off with you.
Lee, KTVU, have you guys been able to get inside the building yet? And if not, why not?
No, we have not been able to gain access yet. We did send a couple of our safety officers and more experienced personnel to actually do some reconnaissance and determine whether or not we could actually make safe entry. As you can see, there's still a substantial amount of flame. Our ladder pipes are not able to actually get directly to the seat of the fire, and as such, we're looking at repositioning units and apparatus and maybe deploying hand lines from a point that we think is safe from within what we call the delta side of the building. But at this point in time, we're not able to actually gain access, but we are strategizing on how we're going to make sure that we position the hand lines to be more effective.
Yes, sir. Is it reasonable to start to assume that there might be an ideological bent to these type of fires? Specifically in Berkeley, they recruited for arsonists prior to April 2017, and I was wondering if a rash of fires started after that point.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that recruitment effort that you speak of, but I don't want to rule anything out at this point.
Would it be considered domestic terrorism if there was a link?
You could say in some ways, yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Ann Makovic, KPIX. Is it clear to say that the fires on Isabella were started by sparks? Is that likely?
It's very likely that those fires were started by those embers that I spoke of that were moving eastward when I first arrived on scene at roughly about 2:30 this morning. There was a substantial number of embers that continued to blow. We positioned what we call exposure groups to ensure that we had units and resources available to start or address any fire that may start in those areas. But unfortunately, you can't account for the thousands of embers that I saw, and then later on, a few hours later, they actually ignited and started a fire, or two fires.
Chief Will Tran from Channel 4 News. I understand there are 15 cameras around this complex here. Were you able to look at the footage? And if so, what does it tell you?
Well, I can't speak to the footage viewing right now. I think the CEO of City Ventures, Mr. Kerr, might be able to speak to what the current efforts are with that right now.
If you don't mind, sir, have you been able to look at the footage? I mean, obviously it was important for you to place the cameras at that location as well as security guard.
Yeah, we're pulling all the footage right now, coordinating with police and fire to share all that information with them. And I know they're working on pulling cameras from around the site as well.
But it was important, obviously, because of all the other fires, to put cameras around.
Yeah, we specifically put cameras in place here, given some of the concern that's been expressed
security guard on scene tell you anything? Where he was at the time, or if he saw anything?
The security guard said that he did not see anything on site. There are multiple buildings on site. He was in a different building at the time that the fire started.
Can you request to work with the other police departments on the other construction fires so you can see if there's any similarities between these construction fires besides obvious gentrification issues? No, I'm asking about the construction the private company.
Sure, I understand that question.
Well, I'm asking him-
Maybe what we could do is have an offline side. We're on a tight timeline. We're
Understood.
gonna do deadline. We're happy to accommodate.
Yeah, I'm with Frontline America out of Fresno. Unless there's an ideological
We're
thing,
going to accommodate
then I'm not going to bring it to Fresno. If it's a city thing, bizarre. Thank you. I'm sorry.
We're going to look at the area being shut down for the foreseeable future. I can't estimate. I can say easily 10 to 12 hours based on what I'm seeing right now, based on the e-signature that we see within the multiple buildings that we're on plan. I don't want to be premature and just false odds here, but I would estimate at least 10 to 12 hours at this time.
Are you evacuees and out back in?
These evacuees were given escort earlier, and they were taking some of their personal items and belongings that needed to move on with their day. And so at this point, power's not restored, so I wouldn't see them wanting to return until it's completely restored. They can operate as normal in their homes.
Go ahead, Ann. Go ahead, Ann.
In retrospect, because the fire did spread a couple of blocks away, should the evacuation orders have been expanded earlier?
Not necessarily. Given the type of embers that we saw, there were finer embers and there were larger embers. The idea is, like I said, we put units in place that we call an exposure group. So if something were to ignite readily, and we had a lot of resources on scene. As I stated earlier, 15 engines, 4 trucks. We had units in staging, so we were able to quickly deploy units if we needed to. Now, obviously, we used mutual aid. We had Alameda County Fire Department, Berkeley Fire Department, and Alameda City Fire Department assisting us, and they actually responded to one of those incidents.
Do you have more information on it?
Do you have any update on the level of damage? How many are total loss? How many are still burning?
I don't have that update. I estimated before, just in sidebar conversations, that I thought the damage was at least 70%, and I think that's still, fairly close and accurate. But I haven't seen the totality of it since daybreak, so it could be higher, it could be slightly lower.
Do you have more information on the attempted arson?
Our investigative staff are trying to follow up on leads, but as far as I know, there were no witnesses. But we're certainly hoping that there's some footage or something else we can gain access to. That's what I'm referring to as well.
Ali Taddy on Misfit Times. Could you speak to the air quality? Should people be staying indoors or anything like that?
At this point, I'm happy to say that we do have some smoke in the air, but given the amount of smoke that we have, I don't think you're going to have substantial air quality issues moving forward.
We're going to start to wrap this up. Is there anyone who hasn't asked the question yet that would like to ask?
There's going to be another conference later on.
Okay, I'll tell you what, we'll have some internal conversations. We'll certainly make sure we get back to you. Okay? Is that good?
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, Jonna, can we get everyone's spelling of their names? Just
How about I'll get it for you?
cool, awesome.
Can we post it just on Twitter? Can we post it on Twitter or no? All right.
Go ahead, sir.
Can we post it on Twitter?
Absolutely. Go right
I'm at
ahead.
the names.
Of the
Oh,
speakers?
yeah, exactly.
Of course, no
Okay,
problem.
that
I'll bring
way-
it all back to
exactly.
you.
Thank
You got
you.
it.
Appreciate
And
your
thank
help.
you for your patience. I
No,
do
no
appreciate
problem. I'm
that.
just trying to solve. I'm a
Yeah.
problem solver, and unless we start to cross-pollinate, these are going to be difficult
I
to solve.
completely understand.
Okay.
And thank
I
you.
appreciate
I'll be right
you.
back. I'll
Chief,
get
right?
everybody- No,
Oh,
I'm one
I'm
of
sorry.
the public
Okay, I'm sorry. My name's Ty Decker.
I'm Johnny.
For Frontline. The thing is Frontline America's out of Fresno, so unless there's a connection, blah blah blah, then it's very.
Understood.
Otherwise, I want to be an ambassador of Oakland.
I'll get the names for you.
I appreciate that.
Ali Taddy.
Thanks. How are you? Yeah.
Nice to meet
we've done
you.
some communication.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you face to face.
Hey, I'm sorry. Yeah, did what I'm sorry, but whatever. So. Oh. Let me get out of your way.
He actually said K-E-R-R.
K-E-R-R. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just.
K-E-R-R.
Yeah, I'm just so I can pick it up here.
K-E-R-R.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, you want in on the lottery pool?
No.
You're my buddy. I got you.
So is it?
You got
You
sorry.
won't forgive me when you win all that money.
We all have our wallet.
Is
I got
it
John.
officer or lieutenant or?
I'm
I got
Officer
John.
John.
So it's just on officers fine?
I'm one of the public information.
I just didn't want to disrespect you by
No
calling you
worries.
a
Pleasure to meet
non-title.
you, sir.
Okay, great. My concern is we seem to not be able to get private companies to talk to other private companies and see if we can cross these jurisdictional barriers that you might have from. So, how can we help, basically?
I understand that. I understand that question. So, my first priority, and I'm so sorry that
No,
I gotta
that's
go
okay.
back with
We'll
the
deal with this later. It's
Okay,
a
sounds good.
sustain. Well, we're all working together. So I appreciate you being out here. Thank you for the update, and
Thank you.
yeah, be safe. Thank you. Thanks for being out there. Yep. Let's see. Is there anything? The fire's still going on. Blah blah blah. Probably not allowed access any farther than this. Any questions anybody wants? So I have another camera going on here. Yeah, exactly. I know. Well, it's so, okay. So there's a question here. Thank God the residents weren't already in the stack and packed the death trap. Well, that's the idea, though. It's because of the gentrification issues. You have Marxists like Antifa doing this stuff. So it's obvious if you take a step back, but nobody's taking a step back, and nobody's mentioning the ideological issues. Like Ghost Fire, more likely than not, was done by Marxists because there was a capital, a revenue event. So, in any case, I think I'm going to wrap this up. Any other questions here? I guess these guys, these camera guys are great. They set up, got the front line mic, but unless it crosses Oakland boundaries, it's difficult for me to, to publish it with. Well, whatever. It's just. Any case. Any other questions? I don't even know if anybody else is here. All right, cool. See you guys later.